At some point in this season, or maybe in the show's history, Megan is going to have to take responsibility for stirring the pot because, sweetie, you are not helping out girlfriends. You're stirring the pot. Let's get into this review. Crazy Town is recording people's calls, and I believe it. Shannon is that cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs to record a person's call. I believe Kelly. I hate the fact that Megan doesn't believe her because that just makes Kelly feel inferior. And I think that's Kelly's issue with being on this show. She feels like the ladies mistreat her or treat her like she's inferior. So she pops back harsh with her mouth to protect herself because she doesn't feel like anybody protects her. And I have to agree with her. Vicky doesn't back her up. Vicky uses her for storylines and things of that nature and to get back at other girls, but she doesn't protect her. And I really hope that as long as Kelly stays on this show, that she gets a true ally, a really good friend, somebody that she can be a bosom buddy together with and really have a duo of two strong women who don't take any crap from these uppity housewives because they have this sense where they feel like they're so far above the drama, but they're so gutter. They do all of these grimy and bottom feeder things, and then when somebody like Kelly does it, and I don't want to say that they treat her like this because she's Mexican or biracial, but I feel like they other her all the time and try to make it seem like she is a problem or she is trashy when they are all just about the same. Let's be real here. Shannon recorded that conversation with Kelly because she wanted to have something on her to either take back to the reunion, because that is what they do, guys, before they go to the reunion or even before they start the season. And sometimes during the season, they have little people that go around collecting information and they sell stories about each other, or they put them out in the press, or they have this arsenal of gossip to bring with them to the reunions. They do stuff like that. So I guarantee you that Shannon was recording Kelly because she wanted to either have something to use on her throughout the season to break up her and Vicky, or to have some type of message to put out there either on her social media or use it against Kelly at the reunion. But I'm glad that Kelly was smart enough, and she was just like, I didn't say anything. I did mention that she did it and she told me that it wasn't, but I didn't say anything incriminating. And I'm very proud of Kelly for just playing this game smart, because that's the thing. At the end of the day, this reality TV show game is a game. Ooh, Peggy, sis, enjoy your time on this show because you will not be coming back, because, sweetie, the gay mafia is about to shut you down. And from what I heard, well deserved. So I guess Megan's first time being a mother storyline isn't working for her. She's going to pick up the role of pot stirrer. So Megan goes to meet with Vicky because she wants to make sure all the girls can become friends again, and she wants everybody to talk. She's stirring the pot. So she goes to meet with Vicky and she basically bashes her about this cancer scam. And let me tell you something. I'm not defending Vicky with this cancer scam. She was dead wrong. I believe that she knew about Brooks lying, and she also admitted it at the reunion, and she was using it for sympathy. So I'm not in any way taking up for her. But Vicky has apologized. My issue with all of these women is that why does Vicky have to apologize every time and be mistreated when you all do terrible things to each other for the sake of a TV show? Tamra, I just have to address this with Megan because it bothers me, because my sister does this to me sometimes and it gets under my skin. When she's in a disagreement with someone, she will make a snide remark under her breath, but it's not quiet enough for the person to not hear it. But she does it intentionally. She wants them to hear that snide remark that she makes, and she does it all the time, and that bothers me because it's so calculated and conniving and just pure mean. Like, she knows what she's doing when she does that. She's taking a knife at somebody and she's just twisting it, and she's being demeaning, and I hate when she does that. This dinner with her and Vicky was a perfect example of what Megan does, and that snide comment. Every time Vicky says something, she makes a little comment about it, and she reaches for something, or she puts salad in her mouth, and it's just like, be a woman. Have a conversation. If you have an issue with her, say the thing that you have an issue with. Don't make that snide comment and then try to act like you really didn't say it when it's clear that you did. I don't know. She's just so immature on so many fronts. And I'm just like, why are you so concerned with Vicky and the other women are doing and not your husband, who you see every 2 weeks? You need to be concerned about him. As my grandmother always says, don't go looking at nobody else's backyards if yours is full of junk. Megan, sweetie, you are going to get dragged at this reunion, and I'm telling you, it's well deserved, because specifically Vicki told her, do not go back and tell anybody about what I told you. Because in talking, and you know, I can't come down on Vicki because I do this too. When you start talking about a situation that you're not supposed to be talking about, it's very hard to hold on to some information that you're not supposed to be saying unless it's like really, really huge. And a lot of stuff was slipping out when she was talking about Shannon and David beating her or whatever. And I do also believe that she was allowing some things to slip out to be petty and for the sake of the reality TV show that they're on. So but I also feel like when she said it, she didn't want anybody to know. I don't know. I mean, they both Vicki and Megan are messy, but Megan is extremely messy to take the conversation to Shannon as soon as she was done having this conversation with Vicki, who said, don't tell anybody. Although she told everybody because she has a camera in her face talking about Shannon's husband's beat her. But, you know, and not in her defense, in defense of that accusation, Shannon gave a lot more information about the beatation of David then she was letting on, because at the reunion she was saying it didn't happen, but then all of a sudden, well, I was trying to get something from him and we were in this argument. So a lot of stuff is being released more and more that we talk about it. So I'm not saying that David is beating her, but I'm just saying that couple has problems, and I just don't know if this show is good for them to be on. It's obviously affecting Shannon in a negative way. Girl, get off this show. Or do y'all need the money? You need the money, because word on the street is that the people living in the OC don't really got the coins that they are projecting. Like, they are trying to show this lifestyle that they have all of this money and they have this big house and everything. But the truth is that a lot of these people have big houses and they're either renting or they have these big houses with no furniture and leased or rented cars. True tea. True tea. Oh my gosh, Lydia, the drag queens will not harm you, sweetie. If anything, you are dangerous to the drag queens. You and all them evangelicals. So the ladies are at Hamburger Mary's, which I think every Wednesday night they have a drag queen bingo. Which is a good time, and Lydia's there making it uncomfortable for absolutely no reason. Oh, I'm a Christian and drag queens, men dressing up as women, and I'm dressing up as a man. No, you're dressing up as a dead body, because she looked deceased in that Charlie Chaplin costume. I mean, maybe she was dressed up as what Charlie Chaplin would look like today. I love how the ladies are having a grand old time at drag queen bingo, knowing good and well that they voted against those drag queens' interests. Stay woke. Tamara is messy and Scott is getting on my nerves. So Tamara invites her psychic, Scott, to drag queen bingo. And I honestly believe that she only invited him there so that he could start up drama with Kelly. And, you know, I really feel like Shannon and Tamara's whole mission this entire season is to cripple Vicki and remove her allies. So she brings this psychic here to go after Kelly and try to break their relationship up. And Scott is saying all of these things. And I'm just like, I don't know if Scott is a psychic or not, but what I do know is that he's messy. And then as soon as he sits down, Tamara and Scott starts talking about this whole cancer scam, and then he tries to comfort Lydia and just be like, he looks at him like, Christians, well, they question my talent. And you know what? I've been, I'll say riding Lydia, but I've been on Lydia the whole time about her Christian beliefs that I believe are dangerous to you know, just non-believers or just everyday people, you know, especially Americans. There are a lot of things that I challenge that Lydia believes. However, Lydia didn't say anything to Scott. So all she said was, oh, is this your profession? Scott did not have to shoot back at that. That lets me know that he ain't no psychic. That lets me know that he sits down, he gets all this information from Tamara, because how did he even know that Lydia was a Christian? They never had no conversation, but Tamara then gave him the tea on everybody before they sat down at drag queen bingo. Messy, messy, messy. And then he tries to comfort Kelly, and Kelly's just like, I see right through this calculated mess that Tamara is doing, and everything that Scott tries to say, oh, you and Vicki are going to get into an argument. And Kelly was like, well, I don't see it. And I'm really loving Kelly this episode. She is standing her ground, and she is not letting these people stand on top of her and, you know, just kick her and punch down on her like they always do. I'm not excusing Kelly's behavior. I feel like she fights tough, even when it's not called for that. That could come with a lot of her upbringing. I understand that. I've been there, so maybe that's why I kind of sympathize with her a bit more, but I'm not excusing that behavior. However, I do have an issue with these women acting like they are so grandiose and Kelly is just this trash when they do the exact same things, but they do it in a different tone and probably with a different dialect. No, y'all all gutter. All of you, no matter where you live, y'all all gutter and messy. That's why you're on this TV show. You know what, Lydia? How can you have an issue with drag queens and not this messy show that you're on? Hypocrite. So Megan, who did not have to even jump in this conversation, starts to, in a sense, come after Kelly because she's not buying into the whole Tamara and Scott and this vision that Vicky's going to tear her down. She's being defensive because this dude is essentially coming for her and she feels set up, which Kelly already has a problem with being set up. So why would Tamara set her up? I'm starting to believe these setups are a real thing and Kelly is not, it's not just in Kelly's head, because this right here is a total setup. So she switches her anger to Megan. I think that Kelly did go below the belt, but I also felt like Megan did not have to stir that pot. She did not have to get in that argument with her. If anything, if Kelly is her friend, she could have shut it down and just be like, you know what, we're not going to have this conversation right here. She doesn't feel comfortable. Let's not even talk about it. Let's go on and play bingo. Instead, she jumped in and joined in on the dragging of Vicky, and Kelly did not feel comfortable. So Kelly turns to her and she says, you know what, you need to be home with your baby. And Megan is already emotional. She's nursing. She got a lot of hormones going on. So she starts crying and she flees, and all of a sudden Kelly becomes the bad guy. This is my issue here. Just because Kelly fights back harder does not make her the bad person. The ladies were attacking her. Tamara set her up and she knows how Kelly feels about that. And I just felt like Kelly was defending herself. The thing is, Kelly never punches in the middle. She never punches high either. Kelly always punches low. Kelly is a type of, if Kelly was a boxer, she would be not even a 1-2 punch. She would just be a 1 punch. People would say about Kelly that she has a mean right hook. Like, she just comes in and knocks you out. She won't even do a couple rounds with you. Kelly would just say something to break you down in that moment. Like, Kelly could just be in like a mild argument with someone and the person could be like, oh, Kelly, shut up with those cheap eyelashes. And Kelly could be like, well, at least my husband doesn't beat me and my kids don't hate me, and at least my house isn't getting foreclosed, and at least I don't have, pancreatic cancer. That's how Kelly is. She says everything and she just goes for the jugular right away. She never holds anything back. And normal people have censors. So if you're in an argument, you're just like, you know what, it's not there. I'm not going to get that petty yet. Kelly is already at 100. She doesn't have to get there. She's already there. So people have to know that when you get into a little tiff with her, she gonna go low on the first punch. So anyway, everybody gets mad at Kelly, and I'm just like, how are you guys mad at Kelly and not at that demon Scott who started all of this mess? But anyway, they are all mad at her and like, Kelly, you shouldn't say that. And Megan is in the bathroom crying. And it just gets to a point where, drag queen bingo is over. And I just feel bad for Kelly and Megan because I felt like they at least had some kind of friendship before the show started. But if anything, Megan makes this comment that she's always had her back. And I have to disagree, Megan. My problem with Megan and Kelly's relationship has always been that Megan has never had her back. If you are a real girlfriend, you do not check me in front of other people. What you do is you hold me down, you have my back, and then when we get in private, you look at me and be like, okay, Nikki, I love you, and I got in that whole little altercation for you, I fought them girls for you, but I gotta be real. What you did was wrong and you need to get that right. That is a real girlfriend. Megan does not do that. Megan tears down Kelly while other people are tearing her down. Then they get alone and she's just like, well, what you did was wrong. While Kelly is still beat up and bruised. Like, she's not a good girlfriend in that aspect. And I don't know if Megan knows how to be a good girlfriend, because I haven't really seen her show it at all the whole time that she's been on the show. Anyway, that's where it ends, but I will be there bright and early next week because it's going to be messy. Apparently, there's some witness to Eddie's alleged gay behavior who's at Vicky's birthday dinner, and I'm just like, Vicky, you and Tamara will never be friends if you sit there and entertain that conversation. But it seems like she is, so I will be there watching, and I hope you watch it with me, and I hope you come and watch this review and have a little chat with me in the comment section. And if you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you for the following episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County.